Everyone, I'm Elaine, the director at Capilaux, and I'm joined here by Johnny. So Johnny is a recent graduate from Winchester University, and he finished with a first class honours in his digital marketing degree. So he is, our in-house expert on all things branding, marketing, and everything digital. So I thought we would come on here today and talk about a few things you can do to your LinkedIn profile just to maximize the opportunities that are out there. So whether you're searching for a new job or, you use LinkedIn as a tool for selling, this could potentially help you, stand out from the crowd, as it were, on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn can be a very noisy place. And so, getting a few things, just looking really, really smart can definitely help you. So I'm going to hand over to Johnny. Do you want to introduce yourself, Johnny?
Thank you, Elaine, for the kind words and for the introduction. So I am Johnny Marriott. I have just recently graduated from University of Winchester. I studied digital marketing and analytics. Today we'll just be talking about how to differentiate yourself on LinkedIn, talking all tips and tricks. So I guess the first thing we have to address is the photo and header of your profile. It's probably one of the first things that's going to grab the recruiter's attention when they actually click onto your profile. So I think it's pretty obvious that we should be making sure that we have an appropriate, engaging and credible photo. So we don't want any things you'd post on Instagram or Facebook. This is LinkedIn. We want to be keeping it smart and professional. You can let your personality shine through once you've spoken to a recruiter or you're speaking to like a salesperson or whatever the case may be. You can let your personality shine through there.
Absolutely. And I see a few fun profile pictures out there, and you will be judged on your LinkedIn photo. You get judged, and it's a sad, it is quite sad that people will look at your profile and go, oh, he looks a bit, but it does happen. And so make sure your photo is a picture of you just being professional. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to feel like it has to be a professionally taken one, but just make sure it's smart, you're dressed smartly, you've got a nice smile on your face, and just make sure that it is appropriate for LinkedIn, I'd say.
Yeah, no, for sure. Really well put. It's so important to have these things, even if it's the simple and most basic things, to get them all settled and all set up. So that leads very, very nicely into the about section. And usually we fill this with a short profile about who we are, the sort of employment history and things like that, which is okay. But today we're really focusing on improving our visibility. So to differentiate away from competitors or other job seekers, we need to make sure that we are right up there with optimizing our profile. So how we do this is we think about the sort of keywords that are surrounding our industry. So in my case, I'm a digital marketer. I'll be thinking about putting things like search engine optimization, content management systems, all the sort of skills and experiences that recruiters or whatever the case may be will be looking for. So if you just think to yourself now that what sort of buzzwords and what sort of keywords does my industry have that I could potentially put in?
Absolutely, definitely. So for let's say, for example, if you're an aerospace engineer and you work on the maintenance side for maybe an airline, or you're looking for work as a contractor, what you can do on your LinkedIn profile is list your type ratings. Make sure that you've got the words maintenance, MRO, that sort of thing on your profile, so that if someone like myself, a recruiter, is searching for you, you will come to the top of the pile. I would say if you're a solicitor working in the legal sector and you specialize in immigration or family law, then you want to be mentioning those phrases and those key specialisms in that about section of your profile, because that will just bring you up to the top of the search for anyone that is looking for people with that specialism.
Yeah, no, definitely. And something as well we could touch upon is sort of your USP or unique selling point, something that's going to make you stand out, whether that's so again, in a marketing campaign for me, if there's something I've contributed directly that really makes me stand out, whether I've personally been involved in a campaign that's increased sales by X%, or, you can think about sort of the experiences you have and portray that in a way that's going to make you sound really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, a lot of people don't necessarily like talking about themselves, or, you know, almost boasting, but, you know, LinkedIn, you do need to sell yourself. And so those profiles that have those key achievements listed on there, or, you know, a couple of things that do make them stand out, it does make you kind of think, oh, they could be, you know, they could be really good. So you want to maximize your opportunities out there. And, you know, if you have brought in X customer, or, you know, you've worked with Y, obviously making sure you've got permission to do so. Just, you know, you can list that thing, that you know, that project that you've worked on, or, you know, that key success that you've had. Absolutely. And that's relevant across every single sector, definitely.
Yeah, and that ties really nicely now into thinking about our job title. So we briefly mentioned here about the about section being keyword rich. So we want to think about incorporating that into the job title as well. So for me, I wouldn't just put a digital marketing professional. I'll put a digital marketing and e-commerce executive, because that's my role and job title, and making it as specific as possible. You don't want to keep this vague. We want to make sure that we are appearing at the top of the searches for what recruiters are looking for, or, you know, making sure that we're really optimizing our profile.
Absolutely. And that's, you know, that's relevant for anyone. Let's say they're searching for legal services, or something along those lines. They'll type into Google, you know, legal solicitor that specializes in this, this, and this. And although there might be some companies that come up, LinkedIn spend a lot of money in their search engine optimization as well. So actually, if you Google something like that, you will get a couple of key LinkedIn profiles being pulled up the rankings. And so you might even come up on a search engine as an expert in your industry when someone's searching for something like that. So, you know, job titles, really, really important. Make sure they're very relevant. And also, yeah, going back to the about section, that's something that's, I would say, really important.
Yeah, definitely. So that moves us on nicely now to your featured article and your posting. So this is an amazing way to demonstrate your passion and interest in your particular field. So you can be really involved and get writing blogs, being involved in the community, joining groups of other professionals in your field, and having that sort of conversation and really getting your name out there. So you're becoming this industry specialist. So once you've sort of built that credibility and that reputation, it can then correlate into helping you in your job search.
Absolutely. What your, you know, featured articles are interesting for, you know, other professionals to read, and just to get a feel for your personality. So sometimes writing yourself a little article about, you know, what you do, or something that you're interested in, can really make you stand out, especially if, you know, LinkedIn hasn't been the platform for you securing an interview, but then you might have the interviewer go onto your profile before you turn up for your interview and have a good read of the things you've done or the activity. So if you're, you know, making sure that everything you post is super relevant to your career aspirations, or your industry, then I would say that that's quite a key thing, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing you could probably put in there as well, sort of coming back to when we were talking about your key successes and your USP, you can then portray the sort of, in my instance, the marketing campaigns you've worked on, and have a really visual way for recruiters to look at. And again, that works for legals. You can talk about the cases you may have worked, or in the aviation industry. You just make it tailored towards you, just to really enhance your profile.
Absolutely. Moving on now to your experience. I guess that's just a bit of an extension of the about section, but then just more specific to each individual role. Would you say that's the case, Johnny?
I would agree, yeah. When recruiters, they get given a job spec and they're going to be looking for certain key responsibilities. So that's the sort of thing you want to be putting in there. And again, you want to making sure it's optimizes but the best it can. You really need to think about the sort of the keyword triggers, let's say, that they're going to be searching for. So again, in my instance, I'll be looking to put in things like retention, CRM, working with all that sort of thing to really help boost my profile.
Absolutely. And also for, I guess actually maybe for Johnny, one of the things that jumped out to me when we were actually recruiting in-house for someone as good as Johnny, there were a few things that jumped out to me, but one of them was the keywords on the content management system he'd used, because that's what we use. So it kind of really made me feel like this interview was going to go well before it even started. So I was quite excited to meet Johnny when I interviewed him. And you kind of want to create that feeling with anyone that you're going to be talking to. And so there's not just interviews, it's like, products, services, sales, business development. It could be a range of things, you're trying to achieve. So yeah, I would say that's a really, really good point, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just that really good opportunity to sell yourself in a really short period of time, like period of words. You don't want to overcompensate and really put everything in. You just want to pick out the 5 to 10 really key things that you've taken responsibility of, and you can show your successes of that. And I guess the sort of thing that really leads in nicely is then your skills and endorsements. It's a shame really this sits at the bottom of your profile, but it's such a fantastic way to build up a strong reputation. So people do come across your profile and they see you've got 50 plus endorsements in your ability to market or provide legal services or anything to do with the aviation industry, let's say. It's such a good way to really solidify to the person viewing your profile that this person doesn't know what they're talking about and is a really, really strong candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that extends into collecting LinkedIn recommendations. So this is probably something that I don't ask for enough, but you will see people out there that will ask you for recommendations, and don't be scared to recommend people. Don't be scared to, put some words down, and sometimes they'll recommend you back. And it could be that you really enjoyed working on a project together. And so at the end of projects or at the end of, a sales cycle, just pop that person that you've worked with a little recommendation request, asking them to, review your service. It's like something like Trustpilot, where you'll be asked to review a product online. You want to do the same with yourself, and make sure that people are giving a true reflection of how good you are and how good the service is. So I would say ask for recommendations as much as you can, and time it right. Do it in the middle of projects when you feel like you've had a really great conversation, or you can do it at the end when you've achieved a goal with someone. And I would say that's a really good way to start building up some recommendations on your LinkedIn profile, so that when people go on there, they think, oh wow, actually, that guy from that company has actually said he's, they obviously know him. You might find some connections as well. So
we've all been there, haven't we, when we've been searching for a particular product to buy for ourselves online. You stumble across a website that you're not so familiar with, and automatically the first thing you do is look at the reviews. And it's exactly the same with a profile. Is you come across someone that you maybe haven't heard of before, or someone who maybe is a little bit questionable, but they look good on paper, and then just that Trustpilot review in the sense of a product, or the endorsements and recommendations at the bottom of a profile really then bring it together, and you can really see that, okay, this person's like exactly spot on for exactly what I want. So we'll be really interested to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. If you could give us your tips and what you think is the best thing for a LinkedIn profile. So thank you very much for listening. I'll pass back to Elaine.
Yeah. Do you know what? Thank you so much, Johnny, for that. And I get really excited about talking about people's LinkedIn profiles and things, because I really do believe that it does help. It helps someone gain a better picture of you and have a positive feeling about you before you walk through that interviewer's door or that sales prospect's door. So I'm really passionate about it, and I hope that you guys have all taken something away, even if it's a tiny little thing that you're going to do better, or try and improve on, or even if it's just like a nice refresher and it's stuff that you do daily and daily anyway. So really great stuff. Thank you, Johnny. And don't forget to like, share the video, and just leave your comments about what you think looks good on LinkedIn, what you think looks bad maybe, and we'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much, everyone.